Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving deep into Bitcoin's price action and also stock markets, Nasdaq, S&P, gold, euro, dollar, and so on, and the major factors influencing its current downtrend. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss any market updates. Today is 6th of March 2025, and now let's get into it. We see here on the graph now Bitcoin falling after the pullback to 92,385 today. Bitcoin has been under serious pressure recently, and we're seeing a clear bearish trend on the daily. Like the weeks ago, the bearish trend is becoming much more stronger on daily and also now on weekly and monthly time frame. And if we go now on 5 daily chart, we see here that we have been already breaking the very important supports. The market is not able of making higher highs. On monthly, it is much more clear. And on 3 months, we see here the clear uptrend, broken and turned into the bearish trend at the beginning of February 2025. Starting from its high of 109,000, Bitcoin has dropped all the way down to 78K, making a deep fall the last 5 days alone, but things don't stop there. Yesterday, Bitcoin bounced back with a 10% pullback and again gave back all the profits, fell back to 83,000, fueled by speculation, news and false news, and it briefly rose to 83,000 K only to fall again. Now here is where it gets interesting. Bitcoin rally from 83,000 to 92,300 was triggered by positive news surrounding peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. As you can imagine, any geopolitical developments like this can stir the market, both for traditional assets and of course Bitcoin. But things are far from settled. Just today, we are seeing headlines, for example, that are starting to put pressure on the market again. Macron, the French president, has called for allies to guarantee peace for Ukraine, which has been a major factor in creating uncertainty in global markets. And speaking of uncertainty, U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent mentioned that the April reciprocal tariffs would be path dependent, meaning we could see more trade volatility ahead. Also, Federal Reserve's Harker spoke about worrying factors that could threaten the US dollar's reserve status. The Fed stance on cautious growth is, of course, another potential headwind for risk assets like Bitcoin. Harker, the Fed governor, said, for example, He is worried more and more about factors that could threaten dollar reserve status. Also, he said that the economy generally looks okay, but there are major factors and there are threats to this. Also, he said that business and consumer confidence is waning, which is not good. And with all this uncertainty, we don't want to move quickly. On top of that, today's US economic data is not helping either. Unemployment claims that came in at 221,000, you can see it here, better than expected, but revised non-farm productivity showed a modest 1.5% gain, and unit labor costs rose by 2.2%. All of these signals some slowdown in the US economy, which could affect, of course, investors' sentiment further. Now, what is happening in Bitcoin's market structure? And this is very important. Looking at Bitcoin on low time frames, 10 minutes, we can confirm that the downtrend is still intact. And now looking at Bitcoin on higher time frame, the same. We see here now on daily time frame, we see that Bitcoin has been broken. Also, the lower part of the market profile, which there are only a few sellers, but at this moment, we see that this region is massively and aggressively attacked by the sellers, meaning that the number of buyers is reducing while the number of the sellers is increasing permanently. And we can confirm that the downtrend is, of course, intact. So we are seeing a series of low highs. We are seeing a series of lower lows on all time frames. Might there be 5, 10, 15 minutes? Might there be half an hour? Might there be the time frames hourly, 1, 2, 3, 4 hourly, 10 hourly, 12 hourly, 23 hourly, daily, 2 daily, and also 10 daily even? We can see that very strong typical bearish patterns in all of the time frames now. The recent pullback failed to gain any significant bullish momentum, and it's looking like sellers are still in control as they have been, but they have taken back control also on this region. Important is also the cut report, as here's a crucial piece of information that not a lot of people are talking about because they don't know about it, or they ignore it, or they haven't heard about cut report, or they just are not interested or are attending to a lot of YouTubers, to a lot of crypto sites, whatever, just running for some pips of profit, but are not able to see the broader picture. The latest commitment of traders, COT or cut report, shows that commercials, basically the big institutions and market makers, are selling off Bitcoin in large amounts. But why does it matter? Commercials are often seen as the smart money in the market. When they are taking a bearish stance, it usually indicates that they are expecting further downside or at least some market turbulence. I repeat it again. Commercials are often seen as the smart money in the market. When they are taking a bearish stance, it usually indicates that they are expecting further downside or at least some market turbulence. Conclusion and prediction. If we come here now, and we can see now how clearly every pullback to the past supports, which are now resistances, is massively pulled down, pressed down by the sellers. So what's the outlook for Bitcoin right now? With the bearish trend continuing on the daily chart and every other chart time frame, combined with geopolitical uncertainty, combined with economic fears, combined with the commercial selling pressure, combined with tomorrow's very bearish data, some way they could be here and there some positive events, but in general looking very bearish. It's hard to see a bullish reversal anytime soon. Also, we have the crypto summit that may have some short-term pullback again, bullish pullback, but generally the importance of geopolitical uncertainty data combined with economic fears, combined with commercial selling pressures are much more bigger, if not hundreds of times stronger and bigger than the impact of this summit. Why? Because the summit is just a meeting. Some person talk and they say, okay, we will build the strategical or crypto strategical reserve, Bitcoin, XRP, and so on. But when they are going to do it, how big they are going to do it, and if they are going to do it, well, these are all very big question marks. You cannot answer with that. Secondly, don't forget, on the same time, they are planning to put taxes on cryptos and restrictions for Bitcoin holders, for crypto holders in nearly every other country, also in the United States. So it's hard to see and to judge if that summit will be something positive at this moment for Bitcoin. It's of course a very positive and bullish news, but at this moment, this bullish news is not the right time. It's the wrong time here. But remember, this is Bitcoin. We have seen Bitcoin recover before, and the volatility is always there. If you are trading or investing, you need to be cautious. And as always, stick to your strategy. And last not least, on the economic front, today's US data show mixed results, but overall It's not great news. Unemployment claims were better than expected, but non-farm productivity and unit labor costs are showing signs of slowing economy's growth. Adding now to that, weakening business and consumer confidence, and we have a perfect storm for risk of sentiment, which is impacting Bitcoin price further. Now some are talking that about $170 billion of liquidity coming back into Bitcoin. Well, ask yourself, from whom? There might be only 1, 2, or 3 big investors, Michael Saylor, BlackRock, and maybe some others. But if that is the case, why is the price falling? Especially because of the Summit strategical crypto summit of tomorrow, the meeting of the White House. And taking a look at the latest commitment of traders report, the court report, that's the most important thing. We are seeing that commercials, big institutional players are actively selling off Bitcoin. It can be possible that during this weekend, maybe we will have a pullback next Monday, but next week, this downtrend will continue. Unless we have a very important, really trend-breaking, positive and bullish catalyst. At this moment, we don't have this catalyst. That's the problem. And therefore, everybody is actively selling off Bitcoin. So these market makers typically have a good sense of where the market is headed. Therefore, they sell at the top, all-time highs. They buy at the real bottoms. You don't know it, me neither, but we can find them on court report. So when they are bearish, it's a signal we need to pay attention to, or to be very cautious. Do you really want to be the bull at this moment? If you ask me, I won't be. I won't be bullish and fighting against them. No way. No way. Not either BlackRock and Michael Saylor are doing it. Of course, in videos they are publishing news that they are buying, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that they are selling secretly, or also, especially Michael Saylor, because his company, the second company strategy, is also margin call, and he needs to pay back all the debts. His company is based only on debts, buying Bitcoin, and now Bitcoin, the strategy or his speculation is not working anymore, is running against him. He bankrupted his first company, MicroStrategy, and then changed the name into Strategy. And it's the same happening. Therefore, never follow blindly those blinders and scammers. Now, tomorrow, we have the crypto summit, and President Trump will be joining the conversation. Many are seeing this as a bullish event with the potential to bring new insights into the crypto landscape. But while that may seem positive on the surface, the impact of global regulation is much more significant. There's talk of strategic reserves for crypto and possibly new taxes on crypto holders. However, We still don't know the details, when, how, or how large these changes will be. One thing is for sure, the regulatory pressure on crypto is increasing, not just in the US, but across many countries. Governments are waking up to the fact that crypto is a force to be reckoned with, and restrictions are likely to follow. This is one of the major reasons Bitcoin has struggled to regain its bullish momentum. So, looking at the current situation, it's clear that the bearish trend on Bitcoin is still in play, with geopolitical uncertainty, weak economic data, major regulatory risks on the horizon. It's hard to see a bullish reversal at this moment in the short term. As I said, if it happens, it can happen probably, maybe during this weekend. There is a 10 to 20% chance. Even though the crypto summit might bring some optimism, it's the regulatory and market pressure that will likely have a bigger, longer lasting effect. And that's important, especially for those of you who are dreaming of seeing Bitcoin at 120K, 150, maybe higher, 500 or 1 million or whatever. Ultimately, Bitcoin's price is facing significant headwinds, and while it might rally on short-term news, the broader market conditions suggest more downside could be on the way. Now, this is for today's update. I hope this breakdown gives you a clearer picture of what is happening with Bitcoin right now. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more market analysis and videos. Let me know in the comments, do you think Bitcoin can weather this storm, or are we in for more downside? I'll see you in next video. Have a good time. Have a good trade.